You're at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Ethan T, who says, rant about Pink Floyd's The Wall. If you haven't watched it and really don't want to for whatever reason, just rant about the album or Pink Floyd in general. Pink Floyd's The Wall is a dope-ass movie. I saw it when I was pretty young, and I rewatched it just a couple years ago while high, and it was fucking great. My mom's a big fan of The Wall because there was a time when she worked like next to a movie theater, and I guess would sneak in and watch parts of it for long periods of her break and stuff. So that's why I saw it when I was younger. And like, I've always been a big fan of visually driven, trippy kind of shit. And The Wall has some of the coolest imagery of any movie I've ever seen. Just some of the most unique, some of the most symbolic, you know. Like, the movie is almost entirely symbolism, and it's very on the nose. It's not as though it's, like, veiled. It's kind of like Revolutionary Girl Utena in the sense that it's, like, beating you over the head with the point through the visuals. But it just does them so well. They're so iconic, so well realized, so striking, so unique and well presented that, you know, there's a lot of images in the movie that are just kind of seared into my mind. And I love the concept of it, that it's basically just a portrait of an artist as a young man. You know, it's a stream of consciousness, story of a man's life, everything that shaped him up to this point and built this so-called wall that has walled him off from society. Like, built the nature of the anxiety and the you know, psychological trauma that he's felt as a person. I think it did a lot for me in understanding sort of how psychology works because, you know, the idea that you have to look back into your past and sort of figure out, like, what elements of what happened, you know, crafted me into the kind of person that I am. What about, you know, how I learned to be human has informed the human I've become. And obviously it's never as clear cut as, you know, the way it's presented in The Wall, but, like, the conceit of it is like looking at each element of society and saying, like, here's how education affected this guy, here's how religion affected him, here's how his mother's upbringing, here's how his relationships, here's how, you know, fame, all of these things informed this person and his transformation. And you know, it reaches this crazy breaking point where he fucking becomes a Nazi and tries to basically lead a cult before going down further down his downward spiral into just utter distance from all of humanity. Yeah, I think it's a pretty effective metaphor for the way, you know, the way that people are. And, like, it acknowledges everything in a broad lens where it's like, it's not just how education affected him, but then it's a commentary on how education is in, you know, in Britain at the time. A lot of great music in the movie. Like, for me, the album is kind of unlistenable because so much of it is the parts that are just, like, weird little twinkly interludes and shit and, like, spoken word passages that work a lot better in the movie, you know? I think that the movie is a better version of the experience, even though it's missing Hey You, which is... I think it's missing Hey You, right? Hey you! Don't tell me there's no hope at all! Together we stand, divided we fall, we fall. Yeah. I love that song. I love Comfortably Numb. I love Another Brick in the Wall, of course. And the Put 'em Up Against the Wall. Against the wall! Some good-ass songs. But, yeah, I would definitely take the movie over the album, just because the imagery is so iconic and so well realized. And the animation, the animated segments are fucking amazing. Definitely a movie to watch while on drugs. And that's that one.